Here's something we see constantly. The more successful and busy someone is, the messier their investment portfolio tends to be. Not because they're careless, not because they don't understand money. Often it's the opposite. They're sharp, they're accomplished, and their portfolio still looks like it was built by 10 different people who never spoke to each other. Because it was. It's tempting to assume that a busy, high-earning professional, a doctor, a business owner, a senior executive must have their finances sorted. They clearly know how to make decisions under pressure. Surely their money is handled with the same rigor as their career. But being good at your profession and being good at portfolio construction are two completely different skills built onto completely different habits. One is your full-time job. The other happens in fragments. A decision here, a favor there, usually made with whatever time and attention is left over at the end of a long day. That's the gap. Competence in one area doesn't transfer to the other, and nothing forces it to. How the mess actually gets built. Nobody sits down and designs a messy portfolio on purpose. It happens one reasonable-sounding decision at a time, over years. A relative sells insurance, so there's a policy. A colleague swears by a stock tip, so there's a small position. A relationship manager at a bank pushes a product during a slow quarter, so there's a fund nobody remembers choosing. Each individual decision made sense in its moment. It solved a small, immediate problem, or it was easier to say yes than to say no. But nobody was asking how it fit with everything else, because for a busy professional, there usually wasn't time to ask. The result, years later, is a collection of individually justifiable decisions that add up to something nobody would have designed on purpose. Here's the part that catches people off guard. Having a lot of holdings often feels safe. I'm spread across many things, so I'm diversified is intuitive, and it's wrong in practice more often than people expect. As the principle goes, diversification isn't just adding more. Holding many small, overlapping positions to feel diversified can quietly add complexity and cost without meaningfully reducing risk. If 10 of your 15 holdings are all large cap-heavy funds from different fund houses, you haven't reduced risk, you've just made your portfolio harder to track, with positions too small individually to move the needle either way. The feeling of safety and the reality of safety are two different things, and only one of them shows up on a spreadsheet. Nobody has the whole picture, including you. This is often the real root of the mess. Asset allocation, how money is divided across asset classes like equity, debt, and gold, based on goals, time horizon, and risk appetite, is supposed to be evaluated as one connected picture. But for a busy professional, the picture is usually scattered. Some money with one advisor, some in a family account, some in an employer stock plan, some sitting in an old policy nobody's looked at in years. No single person, including the professional themselves, is looking at all of it together, which means allocation drift, where a strong equity run quietly pushes your risk far above what you intended, or a pile of deadweight positions can go unnoticed for years simply because there's no single vantage point from which anyone would notice. The same business that built the wealth blocks the maintenance it needs. There's a quiet irony here. The long hours and total focus that made someone successful enough to have real money to invest are the exact same forces that prevent them from maintaining that money properly. A portfolio isn't a one-time decision. It needs periodic attention, the same way a well-built process needs occasional review. But review takes calendar time and mental bandwidth. And for someone whose calendar and mental bandwidth are already fully spoken for by their career, that maintenance keeps losing to more urgent things. It's not a character flaw. It's a straightforward, predictable consequence of where their time goes. Picture a portfolio. This is an illustrative scenario, not an actual client case, with holdings across 15 or so mutual fund schemes, a handful of direct stocks picked up on tips over the years, to insurance-linked investment products, and a scattering of small positions each worth less than 2% of the total. On paper, it looks diversified. Look closer, and most of those small positions barely register. A handful of them together might be worth less than the cost and effort of tracking them. Meanwhile, two of the different mutual funds turn out to hold largely the same set of large cap stocks. The professional who built this wasn't making bad decisions one at a time. They were making fine decisions with no time to see the pattern forming across all of them. If you're a busy, successful professional, the mess in your portfolio isn't a reflection of your judgment. It's a predictable result of never having had a single moment to look at everything together. The fix starts with one simple exercise. List out everything you actually hold in one place, and for each position, ask whether you could explain in one sentence why it's there and what job it's doing. That's really the difference between a portfolio that happened to you and one that was built on purpose. Thanks for watching. Check out the video description. We've packed it with resources just for you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs it.